to the Dolts Podcast. Oh, we should. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Nothing. Go. You do your thing.
Well, we can just do this.
Warning, my dad and his friends are total idiots. Like they can barely wipe their own butts. Listening to them will only make you dumber. It's party time, baby.
That's right. You heard my daughter. You heard Daryl's kid. It's time. It's party time. The second show is always the party show. We got all the formalities out of the way. And now we're here and we're queer.
Well, that's not exactly true.
One of us is.
Let me sure I turn down.
A little backwoods.
So
law don't go around here.
Let's touch on some current events and things that are just going on. I'm shooting this one right at you. What do you think about the whole Brittany Griner thing?
Well,
don't pull a single punch.
Oh, I
shoot from the hip here.
I think. Let me get my beer. I think that she knew the rules. She knew what was going on. I think
I'm pretty sure that's. I'm pretty sure once you sign a contract to say, "Hey, you're going to play hockey or basketball or whatever in Russia,"
they prep you for.
Your handlers literally tell you, "Do this. Do not fucking do this," because they don't fuck around.
Yeah. I hate the idea of trading literally an idiot. And you know what? Like, had all her anti-American shit not been news like 8 months ago or whatever it was, I probably would care less about it. Yeah, I'd probably say, well, obviously we got to get her back. But like, part of me goes, fuck it. You know what? Like my dad, like every time the national anthem would be played, my dad would cry. That's like when I hear "Proud to Be an American" by Lee Greenwood or whatever the fuck the guy's name is, I get goosebumps, like pre-cum, like, all of it.
I do the hockey thing. Like when the national anthem gets played, I start kind of swaying like the hockey players do. It's just what I do. That's just my thing. And there's times I get emotional. I mean, is America great right now? No, we are fucked. 49 years I've been here. This is literally, we are going into places I never, ever, 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 ever thought I would see. This country is.
I'm right, girl.
We need somebody to fucking grab us by the bootstraps, pull us up and say, we're done fucking around.
Yeah.
Take care of us first. Stop sending billions and billions and billions overseas to these other countries that aren't doing a fucking thing for us. Stop leaving $7 fucking billion worth of fucking army and Air Force equipment in Afghanistan for the Taliban to have, and then go back to negotiate him. Now,
last time I checked, too, we probably shouldn't trade fucking guys named the War Machine or some shit to the Merchant of War.
Merchant of Death. Merchant of Death is his nickname.
Yeah,
for fucking some dumbass bitch who took fucking weed to Russia.
Yeah, come on.
We all know this. We know this. If we're flying from here to Vegas, we're going out for a bachelor party. We're going out to have a good time for a weekend. We're going to celebrate somebody's birthday. Yeah. You don't fucking put a joint in your cigarette pack and try to take it on a plane. That doesn't fly here. How do you think Russia is? We all know that Russia is completely fucked and they're off their rockers.
Yeah.
You're telling me, I didn't know it was a mistake? Bitch.
They really
leave it home. Get it when you get there. You goddamn know there's a connect somewhere. You can get your cartridges for your weed that is prescribed because it's medicinal. Fuck off.
Yeah. And it's a different country. Like they don't have to subscribe to any fucking rule that you want to follow. It's the fucking way it is. So, I mean, this gets me all the time when they do like the veteran appreciation shit. And you see like the old men stand up and fucking. Like, there's a guy around here that was in World War II. He's like 99 years old. And his wife is like 50. So, what's up, dude? Respect. But yeah, you see that shit and you're just like, wow, like that they grew up. And again, no country's fucking perfect. You know what I mean? But what the shit, dude? Like you can't just
you're probably best off here than literally almost anywhere else, but maybe
else.
Canada.
No, because Canada, like they locked down Canada like a motherfucker. I have a friend that's in Australia too, and you know, she's a very liberal person, but and that's cool if you're liberal or whatever. But like she kind of shits a little bit on America sometimes. And whatever, your opinion's your opinion, but Australia, and she was really big on like gun control and gun whatever, but like because Australia doesn't have any guns, the government just says, no, you're not allowed to come out of your house because of COVID. Or if you have COVID, these fucking camps like that. Like
they were pulling you out of the house and sending you a concentration camp.
Yeah, it's not a concentration. Whoa. Paging speech.
But like what Ashley just said here, we go to the Michigan games and they have fucking F-15s or the stealth bomber flying over, a big C-130, whatever. And they go and land in Detroit or Flint or wherever the fuck they land, and then they come back. And then like at the beginning of like the, second quarter, they bring them out of the fucking end zone and they talk about these pilots and what they've accomplished and where they've been and all that shit. And the whole fucking stadium's on their feet clapping and screaming. I'm like, the fucking hair on my arm stood up while that's going on. I love this country, but it's in the shitter. It's completely in the shitter. And there's no fucking way, and I've said this numerous times lately, I don't think she needs to spend 10 years in jail over there.
I agree.
2 to 3, sure. Plausible offense. You fucked up in another country,
sure.
Fine. Good behavior, you're out in a year and a half, 2, whatever your sentence is. I also don't think we need to be trading her for a guy called the Merchant of Death.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, if that trade happens, any low-level drug charge, and you're in prison for weeks,
all those guys need
low level.
Yeah.
Open the gates and let them out. Now, I know there's guys that have commissioned truckloads of weed, which if you're doing that, you're into the other shit. Those guys, keep them in jail.
Sure.
Dude rolling down the street in Buffalo, he's got, I don't know how you buy weed.
Well, you can buy like an eighth, or you could
And that's an eighth of an ounce.
Yeah.
Right? So say the guy buys an ounce of weed because he's going to use that for 2 months. He gets pulled over the cop. He's got an ounce on him. Guess what? You're in jail for 3 years.
Yeah, that's
if they bring her home, those guys all need to get let out of jail.
So I used to buy it by the ounce as well. And just because, like, why go back 50 fucking times? So I'd have a ball jar full of fucking weed. And if you get pulled over with that shit in North Carolina at the time, I think it's legal now, but it's with intent to sell because it's an ounce,
Sorry, I'm not selling this. I'm taking it so I ain't got to go back 84 fucking times.
Right.
And guess what?
Right.
If I buy, 8 eighths, he's giving me a better deal just to buy 1 ounce. I'm saving myself money and a trip.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think number one, fucking know what's going on. Like, don't go to a country. Like, there was a kid a few years ago. I don't know if you remember this. He was working or studying abroad or something like that in like Singapore or something like that. And he got caught spray painting a car. And the punishment for that was like 30 days in jail and a public caning. And the United States was doing everything that they could. Like, and everyone's like, well, we got to get him out, And like, and, because like you can die by getting caned. Like you have a fucking heart attack and fucking die because of the pain and shit. But at a certain point, man, if you did it, and he got
40
caught.
lashes.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, that's tough. It sucks, but like,
How many times was it? We know that when we were able to go to Cuba, you do not bring the cigars back. You don't.
No, yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
And the same thing goes like when you went to Jamaica, no one got off the fucking plane. Everybody's asking, you want to buy weed? Sure, I'll buy some weed, but I'm going to smoke it on the resort, in my room, whatever. You knew not to bring it back.
Yeah.
So if she's sitting there saying, I didn't know, I don't buy that for a fucking minute. You're a professional basketball player. You have handlers, just like in the NFL, any major sport. When these rookies come in, they sit in a class. Don't fucking do this, and this.
Yeah.
If you do this, call this guy immediately.
Well, look at Henry Ruggs, right? For the Raiders. He, the NFL has a security detail for every team where if you need a ride, you literally call a number and you get a free ride from somebody.
I've been saying this for years with actors and celebrities. You're watching Mel Gibson get a fucking DWI. Why are you driving when you're when you have that much money and whatever, if you're going out for a night, why are you not getting in an Uber? Why are you not calling a black car service? Why do you not have a fucking limo guy on standby to take you there and just pick you up?
You got that Passion of the Christ money, dude.
Yeah, well, why are you driving? And I mean, I get that. Hey, some of these guys like Ruggs. I want to drive my fucking Ferrari or whatever the fuck car he had, his Lambo. You want to drive those cars. But don't do that while you're going out drinking. Do that when you're going to Sunday, going to Top Golf and hanging out with your buddies for a couple hours and going home.
In one NFL season, killed somebody, and he'll
never play again.
Yeah, he'll never play again. Like, can you imagine working your whole fucking life for that? Like Brittany Griner, sure, she's like, she's the exception, not the rule, because like Henry Ruggs is like a 5'10" fucking dude that, you know,
but his upside was huge.
For sure, yeah. But like Brittany Griner she was born a giant. She's a fucking giant.
She literally had one purpose in life. You're going to have to play basketball.
Yeah. That's it. So, but like
bitch ass ain't sitting in an office chair in a cubicle.
For sure. Yeah.
When you're 6'11".
But you work your whole life and then you fuck it up like that. Like that's tough, man. That's a bad beat, you know?
But there's so many people who are saying, oh, bring her back, bring her back. And I get the heartfelt message. Yes. She's American, but she hates America.
Yeah.
I don't like where America is. I don't hate it. I don't
think
like
that's
where
a
we
sticking
are.
point. I think if you
she
talk
didn't want
shit
the
like
national
that,
anthem played at any of the games, she vehemently came out and said, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I'm going to kneel and this, that, and everything. And I get the whole kneeling thing. I understand that you're right. And that's why we have these rights. But I don't agree with them trying to trade the merchant of fucking death. Because you know what's going to happen once he's free? You kind of fall back into those old habits and you're going to start selling arms again. And guess what? One of those bombs is going to land on American soil. And guess whose fucking blood that's on? Joe Biden. But he doesn't know if it's ice cream or where the fuck he is right now.
Yeah. The other day he goes, he's saying, he said he had cancer, right? And then they're like, and people are like, wait, what? And then they're like, oh, no, he didn't mean that.
We're going to walk that back. He didn't mean that.
He didn't mean that. No, he doesn't have cancer. He was just, that's just,
that's just his dementia.
So should the guy that has dementia, he's saying he has cancer. Should the guy that does that, he should be fucking in charge of this bitch? Fuck that, dude. Fuck that. That's scary as shit. That's why everyone's fucking acting out. And I just saw a clip today where they're forecasting that because of this war in Ukraine, over the next 3 years, 1 billion people will die of starvation because of this war, because Ukraine generates like 80% of the world's fertilizer.
Yeah, the facts that came out about what they provide to the world, that small little ass country there was incredible. What they provide.
And the wave isn't like, okay, well, let's say the war ends tomorrow, they can just get back up and produce. No,
that's not how it works.
It's going to take 3 years to rebound from that, and there's not really a way to recoup what was already lost.
Yeah.
And nobody else is fucking doing it. So it's like you have this country that is getting motherfucked right now, that if we had anybody else, it was, weekend of Biden's, that's awesome. Even when we had like Trump in office, Trump would be like, all right, you're going to go to Ukraine? Oh, fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
Just at least call his bluff instead of going, we're going to have sanctions. Putin doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a flying fuck.
I just saw people arguing about that the other day. Apparently, when these sanctions came down, they were so fucking strong. It was about ready to bankrupt Russia. Yeah. But Russia's gold rich. That's why they're pushing to change the exchange over to the gold exchange or whatever.
Gold
I'm not really, how the gold standard. And everybody's like, well, they should literally be bankrupt right now. What's going on? How are they still operating? But here we are. And they're still just chugging along, dropping fucking bombs in Ukraine. And
I went in a fucking rabbit hole after like when Gaddafi got killed. And Gaddafi, they had a lot of gold too. And he knew that the United States doesn't have any gold.
Yes.
And so we say we have gold.
We're hood rich.
Yeah. But we don't have gold. So our money's not backed by fucking anything.
Yeah.
And even if it was going to be.
That's why we just keep fucking printing more, because there's nothing there.
So FDR got us off the gold standard. And then Gaddafi was like, fuck that. I want anything that's bought from us, from like any oil that's bought from us, I want the U.S. to pay in gold.
Yeah.
I don't want American dollars because it's fake.
I want Bitcoin.
I want gold.
Yeah.
So he goes and tries to do this shit, and guess what America did? Like, he's a dictator. We need to go after him. We need to do all this shit. So they literally murdered this guy.
Yeah.
U.S. did. And he's probably a bad guy. Sure.
Yeah, he was
Anybody that's in charge of anything is a fucking asshole. No one likes their boss. There's not 100% approval rating on any fucking president, even the great Obama, even JFK. Nobody likes who's in charge. I get that. You know, what's the term, like heavy lies the head of with the crown or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I'm drunk. What do they say? Heavy crown fuck boys. But literally because he did that, that's what got us all squirrely. That's why we went over there and fucked them up and did a regime change. Like we are, if you get in like the history of the United States, not like I'm sure the slavery shit's like real bad, but we've gone into countries and said, hey, we can help you with hydroelectric power, but you have to sign a loan over to us. And if you default on the loan, we get to put a military base on your spot.
Yeah.
That's why we have military bases in so many different countries, especially underdeveloped countries, because we needed a strategic chess piece in those areas. And we knew that they would default on a loan. And they had to hire American companies. And guess what American companies got the bid? People that were in charge that own a percentage or own the full fucking thing, like Cheney and shit. Like, it's fucking crazy. So I get why people don't even like America. But if you are American and you were able to go to school for free, you were able to play basketball, you were able to walk down the fucking street, you were able to walk down the street and not have to cover your fucking face. Or let's say you cheat on somebody where, you cheat on your boyfriend, you don't get publicly fucking stoned to death. Like Brittany Griner's lived a pretty fucking great life considering. And she's also part of the 1% because she makes more than $200,000 a year.
Yeah.
So get off your fucking soapbox, bitch, and just be thankful that you live in a country.
I mean, because she was double dipping. She was playing in a WNBA, and then in the offseason, she was going to Russia to play.
So,
I mean, I don't want to sit there and say that I'm heartless, but everything that she's come out and said against America, I don't feel bad. I really don't.
But sometimes shit just works. Let's say you hear that and you go, I hope someday she's going to realize how great of an opportunity she's had because of the country she lives in. This is it.
I mean, that was her last plea too. She's like, oh, I was raised in, Atlanta or whatever, and my parents instilled this and that in me. That's why I'm probably guilty. I knew I messed up. I'm not going to try to, weasel my way out of it and this, that, and everything. You pled guilty to push the process along. To push that process along faster, because Russia cannot negotiate for a trade until she was sentenced. So now that she's sentenced,
that's interesting.
Now the floodgates can open, and Biden and Putin can say, hey, give us her back. We'll give you this guy. That's and everything. So that was one of the big key pieces as to why this court case got pushed through so fast. And that's why she pled guilty. I don't think she was expecting to get 9 years. And it's so funny watching all these people say she's wrongfully detained. Wait, what do you mean?
No, she's rightfully detained.
She's rightfully detained. She had drugs in a foreign country, which is hugely against the law. You get busted with that here, you're probably not going to be able to fly. You're going to probably get in jail for a while, a little bit. You're not going to get 9 years for it.
No.
But you fuck around in another country, guess what? You found out.
Yeah, fuck around and find out. And that sucks. Then again, there's people in America that did some bullshit thing. And just because remember the 3 strikes rule, all that kind of shit. It's like, dude, that's a bad shake. And, there's people that probably are better citizens than maybe someone that just openly says it on a platform that I don't want to fucking hear the national anthem.
Yeah.
But also too, one thing to consider is let's say that you're the president, and God help us if that ever happens. But let's say that you're the president.
I did win the presidential debate that we had.
Yes, you did. Let's say you're the president and you call her up. We're going to make the deal. But I have some concessions. What would your concessions be?
Right out the gate. You ever play another WNBA game again, you stand on your 2 feet, hand over your heart, look at the American flag, and sing the national anthem.
Yep, I agree. I would, for the next 9 years, because that's how long you'd be in prison, Brittany, you're going to sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl for 9 years in a row.
I don't think we want to hear her sing that.
I know, but you're going to do that for 9 years.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't accept these terms, we're going to put you on a fucking plane with a shitload of weed on it and drive that bitch to Russia. So,
and we may call them ahead of time and let them know.
We'll call Putin. You know, the guy.
Or we can just push you even farther that any moment somebody's going to pop up next to you with a fucking megaphone and a national anthem on their phone and play it, and you just stop and salute them and sing along.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, Joey. 9 years of going, hey, can you get this for me?
Yeah.
She's 90 feet tall.
Yo, can you get me the Fruit Loops up the top shelf?
But you know she's just dunking on people right now. And fucking, she's in where fucking what's his face was in Stranger Things. It's snowing. They got demogorgons everywhere, and she's just posting up and dunking on fucking prisoners. It sucks. Like, I still think, like, you can be an asshole and still a good person. Obviously, I'm an asshole and an okay person. You're an asshole and you're an okay person. So she's probably not a fucking bad person. But sometimes when you talk shit, you get punched in the face. And this is her punch in the face moment.
Yeah. True.
You know? And she probably sits in jail right now and goes, I fucked up because USA is pretty fucking cool. Do I like the fact that, you know, from New York to California, no matter where you go, every town looks the same. It's a fucking TJ Maxx, a Marshall's, a fucking this and a that. I hate that
Applebee's,
shit. Yeah. There's no individuality. It's copy and paste. It's commerce and also the shit to like the highest fucking degree. But at the same time, you're born with inherent rights, whether you think you have it or not. Yeah. You know, she does. She's a black woman in America, which according to So according to like the marginalized fucking fact sheet, she's quite possibly the lowest of the low. She's a black gay woman living in America, and she still has it better than probably 98% of the other women on the planet because of where she was born. So, you know, it's easy to look at fucking anything and go, it sucks. It's easy to do that.
Yeah, it is.
Until that thing that sucks goes away and you go, whoa.
Wow, did I actually have it pretty good?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it.
And I've had that moment in my life too. I'm like, wow, man. The thing that was
you and I sit here and we bitch about where we're at in this country right now with young kids and realizing the shitstorm that they're about to endure. And it pisses us off. But guess what? We're in better shape here than we would be anywhere else on the planet.
Oh, for
100%.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. But also too, man, like when you see, if you've been around guys, and your dad was in the military too, right?
Yes. Yeah. He was in the Army.
When you see guys that have served, and I tried to serve and I fucking failed the medical.
I bailed.
Like there's this profound reverence, not just for like one of my favorite lines of any poem is like, death for man comes sooner or late, but how for man to die better than facing fearful odds for the ashes of his fathers and the temples of his gods. Like
was that on your screen or do you just remember that?
I just remembered it.
Okay, that's cool.
But that whole thing of like the guys in the military that you look at, I think of the guys that served before them and the guys that served before them and the guys that like going all the way back to the beginning of this fucking country. And you're every guy that's ever served in the military has this profound reverence for the country because they put in the work. They got down like fucking Gladiator and got the dirt on their hands and fucking felt it. And they went away from home and they missed it and they came back And maybe the military wasn't as good to everybody. It wasn't good to my dad. My dad was on a fucking boat, and they're like, hey, you need to run electrical lines. Go drill into that. Asbestos goes into his fucking lungs, and that's what ended up killing him. Yeah. But till his dying day, he loved the military. He loved this country.
Yeah.
And for that, I'm loyal like a motherfucker. Like that, because my dad loved it, you know?
Yep.
And maybe Brittany Griner didn't grow up in a fucking house like that. Maybe they looked up and, dude, I had this weird fucking thing about rich people growing up because our neighbors were rich. The house next to us, they were rich. You go over their house on Christmas morning, they had presents out of the room. They had so like Santa like was like, we're going to give, and my parents tried super hard for Christmas.
Yeah.
They tried. They always gave their best. And then you go like half a block away to my friend's house, and Santa fucking just jizzed fucking presents to them. You want this? You even don't want this. Just filling this fucking room up, you know? And my whole life, I had this fucking negative opinion on rich people.
Yeah.
Well, fuck them and this, and it's us versus them and all this other shit. And then I know what that guy did. That's the first guy I ever met or ever knew about that started his own business. My friend Kevin's dad. And we would spend our weekends at the Worldser building in Tonawanda.
Oh yeah,
where he had his office. He started a FSI, Forward Services Incorporated. And so Kevin and I would just run through these fucking hallways, and like he'd have to do he'd have shipments of like rollerblades come in that were like getting ready to get distributed across the country and shit like that. So before rollerblades were even like on TV or you knew about them, we were fucking with them.
Yeah,
and we were going through the hallways of fucking Santa's like this. We're going through the hallways of the fucking Woltzer building and stuff like that. It's fucking great. But my whole life, I'm like motherfucking this guy because they had the balls to be rich. He had the balls to fucking work for UPS and say, you know, I'm gonna quit my job. I'm gonna do something else. You know.
Yep.
And I wonder if people that are in Brittany Griner's situation, growing up in Atlanta, and I don't know if she had a single parent or dual parent household or whatever, but you know,
I think it was Atlanta. She said in her thing.
Oh, sorry, Atlanta. She probably grew up and fucking hated everybody because it was like her family against everybody.
Yeah,
you know, you're a victim to the messaging. You know, so my kids, I'm just like, we need to do this. Like, this is how you make money.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. School ain't going to teach them then. We need to teach them that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. School teaches you how to obey.
Yeah.
Be a good little worker ant. I was walking around. Where the fuck were we? I think Target. And
how rich are you?
Yeah. The Target that we go to is like 40 miles away because we live in the middle of nowhere. But we're walking through Target, and I said something about a customer of mine, and she's like, so they pay you one time? I'm like, no, they pay me every month. I'm like, that's how you build, like, you can work your ass off and sell $100,000 worth of shit in 1 month. But then when the calendar rolls over to the new month, you're back at zero.
Yep.
How you build wealth is having people pay you concurrently every single month. And you write 12-month agreements, and they're self-renewing and all this other shit. And I'm walking around explaining that to her, and I go, fuck, no one ever taught me that. I learned that when I was like fucking 35.
Yeah, on the fly.
Yeah. 35 years old.
All this shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember and I instantly thought back to like economics teachers. We did a class project for something, and I think I made a business about coffee. Because my mom like ran a fucking grocery store.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that thing in class. Hey, start a business, and here, what's your business plan? And what are you going to do? Yeah.
So I started because I knew that coffee had an insanely high profit margin, right? So my mom would say 1 cup of coffee sold at the gas station she managed would pay for the entire pot. So you sell 1 cup of coffee, and you could dump the rest out because it's all paid for. And any other time someone comes in and fucking buys something, you're in profit. So I made a whole business plan on a coffee store. And this guy ripped me an asshole. I think I got a fucking D on it. He's like, there's no fucking way someone's going to come in and buy a $2 cup of coffee. No way.
Well, guess what?
Starbucks is like the most profitable company in the fucking world because they sell $4
$7 mocha choca fucking bullshit.
And it costs them 8 cents.
Yeah.
And this guy ripped me a fucking asshole. And I probably make now, like in a month, what that guy made in a year.
Yeah.
And he made me feel like a fucking asshole. Fuck that guy. He was so fat and he'd wear these tight polo shirts. It looked like he was stealing a cereal bowl with his belly button. The biggest belly button of all time. But like, fuck that guy. Fuck people like that, you know?
Speaking of teachers, did you notice what time it is? Time of the year it is?
Oh yeah, it's time.
This is literally teachers going OnlyFans on us.
Yeah. Right.
It's almost, I don't get it. I really don't. And I don't know if there's any teachers out there listening and whatever. My sister-in-law is a teacher and shit. I don't fucking get this. I don't understand this. Why you guys put out a fucking wish list?
Yeah.
In late July, early August for your school year. Yet you shoot us a list of all these incredible amount of shit that our kids need. There is no fucking reason my kid needs 12 glue sticks. No reason.
I don't think I've used.
But there's 18 kids in a class. So what are you doing with those glue sticks? And one of my whole points was, you guys had all this shit come in, and then COVID hit. Nobody's in school for a year and a half.
Uh-huh.
Where did all those supplies go? Why are you begging us to fulfill your Amazon wish list and pay for your supplies? Why is this a thing? Why do people pay school taxes? Why are school taxes so fucking much? And everybody in the county is paying now. Whether you have kids or not, you are paying for these school taxes. Where does that fucking money go?
I think if you did an audit of all this shit, it would be embarrassing.
Dude, and the money these fucking schools got from COVID, and I loved when they got exposed.
Oh, yeah. That was the best.
Some of these people went in with fucking just guns blazing and stacks of paperwork to back it up. They're like, what are you doing? They were lining their pockets. Why don't these teachers have money? What the fuck are you doing with all this money?
Most of the times Karens suck, but when a Karen is on your side and that bitch has like research, you're like, whoa. Because
they came out in force during COVID. Yeah. They're like, you guys, they just kept saying, follow the money. And they kept doing it. They did the research. They looked into it. Like, you are, as a school district, you're getting $4 million from the government. Where's that money going?
That's so many glue sticks.
And they're like, and the fucking higher ups, the superintendents and shit, are just fucking stacks of cash in their pocket.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
But yet you're telling me that I need to spend $300 on school supplies. Yet, as a teacher, you are literally out there on Facebook saying, here's my Amazon wish list. Feel free to buy me some shit. What the fuck? I ain't buying you shit.
Now, every year, I do find one of my friends as a teacher randomly, and I'll buy their entire list.
Fuck you.
Because I'm
You're part of the fucking problem. You're
I know.
You're a fucking enabler. You're not a good person.
I like to help people.
You are in a certain aspect. You're a fucking enabler. Stop giving these people money. Tell them to fucking go to their school board and say, hey, listen, why the fuck am I spending $400 out of my own pocket to put shit up in my fucking classroom for the year? Where the fuck is all the money?
Well, here's something funny too.
Look at the amount of people just in your county. Whether you're renting or not, that house is paying school taxes. Like, we rent this house. My landlady is paying school taxes.
Yeah.
I have 2 kids in school. How many of these fucking people don't have kids are still paying school taxes? Every fucking one of them. And they're paying $3 or $4 grand per household. Where the fuck is that money going?
Yeah.
Why am I buying fucking glue sticks all the time?
Well, you know where it's going, Daryl. Can I tell you? Something called pensions.
Joey, I hope the fuck you are fired up too, because I love when this dude gets angry.
It's called pensions because back in the day.
And guess what else we're doing for teachers and police officers in Buffalo here in Erie County? We're paying for them to get boob jobs.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing here? Why is everything half-assed backwards? Why is the lottery 1.3 billion, but you walk away with 400 million. Where is that other $1 billion going right now? It's going to education. I'm still fucking buying glue sticks. You just got $1 billion. Why am I buying fucking glue sticks still?
That's all the school supplies for 50 fucking years is $1 billion fucking dollars.
Yeah.
You know?
Yet I'm still, hey, well, we need 12 more glue sticks. Fuck off. Get the glue sticks from COVID. There's still a backlog of that shit. Pencils and all this other shit that we don't fucking
That's funny.
Yeah, these teachers are doing fucking OnlyFans late July into August. Oh, please subscribe to my fucking Amazon wish list and buy me some shit. Fuck you. I ain't giving you a nickel. Oh, we work so I get it. You're a teacher and it's fucking a thankless job. You also have summers off, and they're like, "Oh,
well, name one other job that isn't."
I'm watching teachers. The day school's out, they're on vacation. They're in Hawaii. They're here. They're there. And the other thing, yes, some teachers
on your glue stick
summer
money,
school and shit. They are fucking taking my glue stick money, and they're in Hawaii. Well, I'm not subscribing. I'm not fucking paying for another fucking glue stick. You're getting a bare minimum. Guess what? Chris is like, here's my list. I need 12 glue sticks and 8 packs of pencils. Guess what? You're getting 10 fucking glue sticks, 4 packs of pencils, and fuck them. Little Joey's half fucking retarded over here. He's eating the glue sticks. Take his.
It's like a blow pop for fucking. You know what's weird is like, so when you look at like a politician, they're under the umbrella of a public servant, right?
Yes, they work for us, all of them.
Public servant, right?
Yes.
The only people that actually act like public servants and probably should be considered public servants are police officers for sure.
Yeah.
And teachers. Because every job is a thankless job. The guy, like a fluffer on a porn set, it's probably a thankless job, right? Yeah. It sucks. Like
a job needs to get done. Somebody's got to do it, right? Somebody's got to do that job.
I've never worked at a job where I left and was like, man, they've thanked me a lot for my service today. Yeah. It just doesn't fucking happen, right?
The teachers are cleaning up puke and shit, and I get it.
And they're dealing with our kids. Like the second my kids go to school all day, I'm like, fuck yes. I'm not paying for fucking childcare. They're not home fucking running around being assholes. I'm crushing it right now. I love it. But fuck. The teachers have a bad rap. I honestly think, like, one of the things that I would do if I were president, oddly enough,
they need to get paid more for one.
Yeah, I would bump it by 40%.
Yeah, and I would have no problem with that. And then
harder
fuck
to become
off
a
with
teacher
your
too.
Fucking OnlyFans list.
Sure. I mean, if you're buying in fucking bulk, come on, get glue sticks down to fucking.
Just don't understand where the money is going. The lottery funds education.
Yeah, it's the education lottery. Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
That money's not going there.
Because everything in New York State, for sure, but everything else, everything everywhere, it's like if you ever like looked at the numbers for like the Red Cross or some shit. To be a charity, you only have to have 10% of what you bring in actually go to charity.
Yeah.
So just like to have something that's called organic, it only has to be like, I think Miles was telling me the other day, it has to be like 14% organic. Yeah. The rest can be fucking pesticides and fucking,
but we're all organic, baby.
Mother love fucking pubes, if she still got them, I don't know. I think for the tax dollars, maybe 10% of all the money paid in actually goes towards the service that you're paying for.
Yeah.
Because how much of your taxes around here, even too, we pay property tax. The fucking roads are terrible.
That's what everybody's saying here. Like, why are we paying taxes on taxes on taxes and you have all this money? Why are these roads should be smooth as a baby's ass.
Sure.
Why are people's tires getting blown out on the daily around here? Why? Where's all this money going? And the thing is, it's just landing in our pockets. And I read this about those charities too. It's like, watch where you're donating the money because, and there's research done. Hey, you donate to the United Way or whatever. You give them $100.
Right.
$4 goes to them.
Yeah.
$96 goes to the shareholders and the higher ups and all that shit. Well, why the fuck am I giving you money? Why?
It's crazy. Remember UNICEF? Like UNICEF is like the worst. Like you get those boxes on fucking Halloween.
Yeah.
First of all, I just fill them up and thank you.
That
money's coming with me.
It infuriates me about the amount of taxes we pay on everything. We get taxed on our income. Then we get taxed when we buy something. We get taxed when we sell something. It doesn't stop. It's fucking incredible. And I don't know who it was back in the founding fathers. You know, taxation is theft, which is 100% is. But yeah, here we are, just giving all this.
We're at the point now where people actually went and made a whole new country because of it. Yeah, like we're at that point. We're like, fuck it, this is crazy. Yeah, it's nuts, dude.
But I just sit there and I'm just watching these teachers, and I'm just getting angrier and angrier and angrier. I'm like,
it's not their fault either.
You're right. It's not their fault. And I understand the situation that they're in. But for fuck's sakes, go to your superintendent and say, I need $400 to staff my room for the year. I need this, that, and your thing.
Maybe write a lesson plan that is sans fucking glue sticks.
Yes.
Let's do that. Yeah. You know?
Fucking glue sticks, man.
I saw a post today.
I don't know why that got me so fucking angry.
You got fucking heated. I saw a post today where when the Scholastic Book Fair comes in to your school, they should have like a side.
I saw this too.
Yeah, they like do envelopes, something like that, to give kids that don't have money to buy the books and whatever. It's like, or, you know, maybe not have a fucking 8-page book about a fucking red wagon be $300 fucking dollars.
Yeah, exactly.
Or do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ.
I used to be. All I ever wanted was Lambo posters.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
sure.
I took Aubrey to hers when she was in first or second grade. All she wanted was a fucking cat poster. I'm like, well, that's $18. Great.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
You want to just get a book to read.
Or that Santa's Secret Shop. No. Oh, Santa's Secret Shop's coming to school. It's like, oh great, I'm gonna get a shitty present that really cost you like a carnival fucking stuffed animal, like 38 cents, but it's $5 to play the fucking game. Go fuck your mother, dude. Like my kids are like, well, I want to go shopping for you. Like, I already have a pen.
Yeah.
And I didn't pay $40 for it.
I stole it from the gas station.
Yeah, no shit. Jesus Christ.
That was the other thing too. Was like we went to Disney on Ice. We took Aubrey to Disney on Ice when she was little. And we had to get this fucking light up wand. $27. She really likes this book. $32 for this book. She looked at it twice. It's collecting dust somewhere in somebody's room or in a box. And guess what? I'm going to sell it in a garage sale for 50 cents. Fuck me, right? You know?
Yeah. It's embarrassing.
I mean, I can't say that my parents didn't do that stupid shit for us when we were younger. But then again, when we were younger, shit was cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, so I think like comparative inflation wise, shit's just on a whole new level. It's like the average income went up like 40%, but inflation's gone up 300%. It's like you can't, you know. And then what they do is like, well, what we should do is just print more money. Well, that is inflation. That is inflation. The bastardization of the fucking amount of that the dollar is actually worth.
Yeah,
is worse when you inflate the cash flow. That's what it is.
We just had some sort of meeting the other day at work, and they had it in the morning, so we skipped out on it. But they're like, yo, inflation's at 8% right now. We are not giving you an 8% raise. So they're settling somewhere between like 2 and 3.5 or whatever. I'm like, something's better than nothing. But you know, you got all these people working from home. Right. They're not paying $5 a gallon for gas. They're not getting their oil changed every 6 months. They're not wearing out tires. They're not just doing all this other shit. They're sitting at home and whatever. They're not paying for parking at some places. Why am I absorbing all those costs still? You know, you want to give them 2%, give us 4 or 5.
Yeah. Yeah. There should be a travel to work. You get 5.5. Work from home, you get 1.5. If you want to come in the office, you're up to 5.5, but you're coming in the office.
It cost me $70 a week in gas to just go back and forth.
Jesus Christ.
You guys aren't fucking using that. You're sitting at home. And guess what? They gave you money to pay for your internet.
Yeah.
You know, they gave you money to buy an extra monitor if you couldn't come to the work and get yours and take it back home and everything. Krista actually got lucky. One of the guys lived around the corner, was going back to the office or whatever. He didn't need his 2 screens or whatever. So he's like, oh, come pick them up, because they were property of the bank or whatever. And boom, now she's got her 2 screens set up and she's
all good.
But it's great. But at some point, these people we're going to work every fucking day, but we're not reaping any of the benefits. The people are just getting the luxury to stay at home. They're not paying for fucking daycare. My daycare, $1,100 a month. Are you fucking kidding me? That's a mortgage payment. Paying that for a fucking 1 kid. Imagine these people with 2 or 3 kids that are under the age of 5 going to daycare.
Dude, we were paying
insane, man.
Like, so the house that you visited the last time in North Carolina.
Yeah.
I think we bought for like $440 or something like that. Maybe a little bit less. But our mortgage payment was less than what we were paying for Olivia and Max to be in like childcare. Like, I mean, what the fuck?
And I get it. I mean,
the more they are, quote unquote, maybe, but
Brady's at daycare, but they also prepped him for kindergarten. Like, he took his kindergarten screening, passed it with fucking flying colors. Like, he's more than ready. So I mean, okay, great.
Sure.
I appreciate, everything you guys do. And, they feed them and educate them, and, they got them on the right path and all that shit. And that's fine. But $1,100 a month for 1 kid. It's fucking insane.
Yeah. Yeah. And you guys make too much money to actually get it subsidized as well. So it's like,
we make too much together to.
Isn't that a motherfucker? Like, so when I first started my old company, like, I was getting paid like 20 grand a year. Like, that was the first salary I had. And we get some tax money back, and it was all good. And Tanya was working like retail pharmacy. So, like, again, we were always on the edge of like not getting anything back. And then we both started to make okay money, not crazy money, but like I was in like the 70 to 100 range. And she was always a little bit more. And you go to do like the accounting stuff. It's like, well, we have childcare this and student loan that or whatever. And they're like, oh yeah, no, that's, you don't get any of that.
Yeah, you guys can.
And then you got to write a check for like $15,000 when you're still living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
We don't know, weird. But like, it's tough to, like, I remember back in the day, we talked about this last time, where it's like, you have $5 and fucking 25 cents that can get you a pitcher of beer.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out, I'm going to have a pitcher of beer, and that's it. Fuck that. But yeah, those subsidies, man, like those fucking, the child, tax credit shit that came in. Like we got 2 checks of like $350.
Yeah.
That's it. And you're like, wait a minute. But some other people are getting like 2,000.
Like, once COVID hit, we started getting this. We got an EBT card in the mail, and it was like loaded like $400 and some. We're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And looked into it, and everybody in the school district got it. So then we were part of a school fucking Facebook group and whatever. And some lady just posted the other day, and she's like, yo, anybody hear about when the card's getting loaded? I got a message saying it's going to happen tomorrow. And I saw Krista post. She's like, yes. She goes, I got an email stating we're going to get another $375 stuck in our account. And I'm like, I know there's people in this school district, which is super small, that definitely could use it.
For sure.
We don't need it, but it's coming to us. And I'm like, do you say no? What do you do with it? I mean, so we've literally just been buying fucking groceries. We're not going out buying. I joke every time. She's like, we still have like $52 left in that account. We're getting $375 tomorrow. I'm like, steak and lobster. And yet we're buying fucking asparagus and broccoli and, some hot dogs and, whatever. But it's incredible how you guys got that money to throw at everybody, but you can't buy fucking glue sticks.
Yeah. Make glue sticks on the EBT. Yeah. That sucks too, because like, these people, like, some people are just born to do the job that they have, and I think teachers are like that. I think if you don't have that as a teacher, you're going to get phased out pretty fucking quick because the frustration level is too fucking high for you to even want to fucking deal with it. Right.
Yeah.
But
teachers are definitely built different. And I mean, yes, I'm shitting on you for doing your OnlyFans with your Amazon wish list and all that shit. But you guys do a thankless job that there's no fucking way I could ever do it.
Well, some teachers are super hot too, so they should do the OnlyFans stuff, you know?
Good point. But it's just when you stop and think of where the money's going, it'll fucking blow your mind.
Yeah.
It blows your mind where it's going.
Well, they were saying the other day too that with the COVID relief package or whatever that was passed, like or whatever, there's still like $1.9 billion left.
Yeah.
In that. And they're like, well, we might use some of that money for Ukraine. It's like, why not just put the money back? Let's just do that.
Let's just not give it to another foreign country. Again, put it back into our bank account.
Yeah.
Or sure, our debt is $440 trillion. But guess what? That $2 billion just takes it down a notch.
Yeah.
It's $2 billion we're not fucking
take
spending.
Take your feet off the gas for a minute. Yeah. Or go and say, we're going to build a fucking a mini Ukraine that's making wheat and fucking fertilizer so the world doesn't starve to death. Maybe we can do that. Yeah. You could probably do that for $109 billion. Probably. Shit's crazy, man. I used to never be political because I just thought people were good. And then the older I got, I'm like, wow, people are shitty. People are just shitty. And you think like people get into it like to help people and shit like that. And like, oh man, like that's the mayor. He cares. Nope. The town I grew up in, they had a bunch of people working in that fucking town. A bunch of people that were elected to that town. And then nobody was showing up and doing anything. And guess what? It's not a town anymore. Now it's a microcosm of America. It's a small fucking town. No one even gives a shit. No one even drives through it. That's fine. It's a hamlet now. Congratulations, you fucking assholes. But it's still mismanaged by people. And I don't think that those problems are not indicative of any other place in the fucking world, man. Like anything that's ran by people is corruptible at the bare minimum. But I'm willing to say that a lot of places that are fucking run by anything in goddamn America, they're all corrupt, man. There's people that get into office that have no fucking money when they get into office. And 2 years later, their net worth is a fucking $1 million, or $50 million. What the fuck?
Insider trading. There's no way that we're paying these people their $140,000 a year salary. And like you said, after 3 years, they're worth $5 or $6 million. How does that work?
Yeah. And that's low. That's a low number. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. And it's like, well, why is this not a thing? Are people not really pushing back on this? And there needs to be fucking term limits. There needs to be an age restriction on how old you can be to be president.
Well, yeah, our Speaker of the House can't fucking speak. And our president is a fucking mushmouth. Like, what the fuck are we doing? I got to pee too.
I'm literally at the point where I think you got to be minimum of 35 years old to be president. That's great. There needs to be a maximum age set on this. At 55, 60 maybe. We're all sitting here looking at these fucking skeletons that are in office right now. And then look at the normal workforce. Anybody that's over the age of 60, pushing 70, is basically unemployable because their skill set is declining. Their mind's not there. They're just basically unemployable. Yet we have people of that age running our country. And yes, I was a fan of Trump. I liked what he had to offer. I love the fact that he was fuck around and find out, and he put America first. I wish he could have done more in the time he was here, but you got 4 years to clean up the previous guy's mess, which, every president's making a fucking mess. They're fucking shitting in their diaper, and that's what you get. Fucking Trump had to fix what Obama had. Biden's trying to fix what Trump had. The next fucking guy, whoever the fuck it's going to be, has to clean up this mess that Biden made. 4 years, I don't think is enough to get that done. But again, term limits need to be in for any of these fucking people in Congress, Senate, all that shit. And you need to vote these people in and out every 2 to 4 years. You can't have these fucking people being career politicians. That's not what you're there for. You people need to be working for us, not for yourselves. So just end these fucking people. Hochul, that bitch needs to fucking go. Get new blood in here. Get somebody else in here. I mean, It'd be great if an average Joe Schmo had money to run for an office, which I think is fucking incredible that you got to spend tens of millions of dollars to try to get voted in. Hey,
yeah, what do they say? Like,
here's
someone's
my
going to
fucking,
spend
here's my
half $1 million or half a $1 billion to get a job that pays them $400,000. Like, running for president, you got to spend
where
$500 million.
Where the fuck are you getting this money? And if you have that money, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, at this moment, you're power hungry. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's a cash grab. And I never knew that. Like, I just thought, I think the first president I remember being the president was like Reagan.
Me too. I think that was the first guy that I was like, kind of aware of, hey, this guy's leading the country. I mean, yeah, when I was younger, but it was, I was pushing a little older, and it was Reagan. And he was fucking tough, old school, and we need more of these old school presidents. But
he also would fall asleep at press conferences. Like, his second term was not good.
What would you put a cap on for an age for president? You got to be 35 to get in.
Yeah, I'd say like 72 is probably.
Ooh, wow.
Top. Yeah, I'd say top.
I went 55, 60.
Oh, wow. Shit. Okay.
Yeah. Because and as I said this while you were gone, look at the workforce in America right now. You're 65, 70, you're getting ready to retire. You're getting ready to put out the pasture. Yeah, your skills are declining, your memory's gone. You're kind of checked out. Yeah. Yet we've got presidents that are over 70 years old running our fucking country. These people need to be in nursing homes. And I'm not saying that Trump is better, this and everything. Like I said, I liked his ideas to put America first. I thought he did an all right job. I mean, tweets and shit aside. But Biden, this dude is a fucking muppet.
Yeah.
And 81 million people voted for this guy. And yet you don't hear, where are all the supporters? They're not there. Hey, I voted for Biden, but I ain't saying a fucking word because guess what? I know I fucked up. Just say it.
I saw a car the other day with a Biden-Harris sticker, and it was not ironic. Even if you did vote for them, let's say you didn't want Trump to be in office, and that's totally fine. That's great. Yeah. You didn't want Trump to be, that's fine. But even if you did vote for Biden-Harris, you probably shouldn't say it.
Yeah.
You probably,
if you're good, and that was the thing is, I can tell you what, out of the 81 million people, probably about 78 million that voted for him just so it wasn't Trump.
For sure. Yeah.
Guess what? Give that fucking vote to a third party.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And that's what just sucks right now is that third party is so fucked. They're so far behind. They're never going to catch up because I tell you one thing. Most of those people in that third party line are a lot younger and can do some things.
Well, yeah, because they're so sick of getting railroaded the way that Tulsi Gabbard got railroaded by her own fucking party.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing is this you grew up and your family's Democrat, you got to vote Democrat. No, motherfucker. I don't give a fuck. I hate when you have to go to register to vote. You have to register as a Republican or Democrat. Yeah. Why? I want to fucking put my vote on the line for the best person who I think is going to do the best job.
That's how it always was with politics in my house. Like my dad would always benefit when a Republican was in office because he worked at Moog. Because government contracts seemed to be a little bit more forthcoming with a Republican president. So my dad always kind of leaned that way. But my mom would kind of toe the line. She'd be like, well, I like this person better than this person. Like Dukakis versus Bush. I think she voted for Dukakis. It was always kind of a fluid thing in our house. It was never like this fucking thing where it always kind of struck me as weird when people just follow exactly what their parents say. And I think the first person I remember being that way was Owen. Like Owen's dad, I think, was very Democratic or Democrat, and Owen was always. And then with Tanya, she's like, well, I've always just voted Democrat. Well, why? Well, because that's what my parents do. It's like,
no, think for yourself.
Take a minute and think for yourself. And I'm saying, obviously, if you grew up in a place where it was Democrat, the messaging is going to fit a lot of the stuff that you want. But maybe you graduate out of that and maybe you like this. Maybe you are, for some fucking reason, you're not pro-choice. And Democrats usually are. Grow past the fucking, place that you were kind of put in a little bit. Yeah. And it's fine if you meet back in the middle and you're like, no, I'm just going to vote for Democrat because it seems like the safer bet. Which I think was what a lot of people do.
That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
Explore it. Just look over there.
But a lot of people did that with Biden. And I love the the Hillary Clinton movement of fuck the patriarchy and like, let's get rid of old white men and all this other shit. Then Trump wins. And then what does that same movement do? They don't go after a woman of color that was served in the military, that was Democrat, where she would be the fucking best goddamn president right now. Tulsi Gabbard. Yep. They go, no. We're going to, all the fuck the patriarchy people, all the I'm with her and nevertheless she persisted, all those fucking people, they vote an old white man into office.
Yeah.
Like, can you be more fucking hypocritical? Can you do it? You can't.
What about like Candace Owens?
Oh, I love her.
She would be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, you don't want a woman president and everything. I want somebody that's going to fucking put our country first. Fuck all this money going to all these other countries. Take care of America first.
If you voted for, let's say you voted for Trump, right? You're a white racist, right?
Apparently.
But I would easily vote for Tulsi Gabbard, and I'd easily vote for Candace Owens, even though they're on two conflicting parties and stuff like that. Yeah. I would easily vote for them, and they're both women of color. Yeah. I just think Hillary Clinton's the fucking devil, and I think Joe Biden is basically going to get recast as the fucking weird son, and fucking life goes on too. Like, he's not mentally fit to do fucking anything. No. And that's why everyone in the goddamn world's like acted up.
From day one, they've said he's a puppet. He's just a face. That he's a figurehead. He's like the fucking Queen of England. That's all he is. He is a figurehead. Everybody else is pulling the strings behind the scenes for this guy. He can't fucking speak for himself.
Yeah. Like, do you think this is an honest question? Do you think that there's people out there, whether they voted for him or not, watch him do a speech and go, yeah, he wrote that? Yeah,
I do. There's brainwashed motherfuckers out there that are like, yep. And those people need to be fucking wiped off the earth.
Yeah. I'm all for genocide. Let's just get that out there.
I mean, you sit there and you watch the shit that fucking Biden stumbles and mumbles through. And then go back to Trump's speeches. Half of his shit wasn't written. He just fucking said what was on his mind.
Yeah.
He didn't give a fuck. He did not give a fuck. And that's what I loved about the guy. He didn't give a fuck.
Yeah. The two
fuck
worst
your feelings, whatever. Let's go. America first. Bring everything back on our soil. Let's do what we got to do to make this country fucking great again.
I did love when.
Oh, you're a MAGA. This and everything. No, that is a great fucking slogan. Make America great again. Yes, we've slipped. We used to be the greatest, most powerful country in the nation. We're a joke.
Yeah.
We've been a joke for the last 12 years.
Yeah.
Enough already. Get back to swinging that fucking dick.
Yeah, that big bald eagle dick. Like,
yeah.
You know? You come and
there's fucking eagles just fucking come out. See? And underneath their arms, they got fucking Tomahawk missiles. And they're just fucking screaming. They got American flag bandanas.
Fuck yeah. And like a mullet for some fucking reason.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. The two worst jobs ever were just in secession, right? Like, Trump's speechwriter could have been fucking Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Literally Nancy Pelosi, the fucking State of the Union.
Yeah. I would love when he would try to stay on point, because he'd go on a rant and be like, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do that, and then because she's a fat fucking pig, and and it gets back, and like I said, he would his segues
all
were
over.
Fucking terrible, you know. Yeah. But I did appreciate. But also, like he
tried to do what he said he was going to do. That's the thing. All these politicians promise everything. Trump's like, you know what? I'm going to do everything I can to make all this come to fruition.
Whether you like it or not, he was probably the most transparent fucking president we've had in a very long time.
And I mean, most people hated him because he was brash, and all the gays hated him because they thought all their rights were going to be taken away and they're going to get killed. Or like, I fear for my lives. Jesus fucking Christ, stop.
Yeah.
Stop being prima donnas. Did any of you guys die for 4 years while Trump was president? No. Nope. Were you able to still go out in public and not get murdered? Yep.
How about those 401ks though?
Yeah.
How about the gas prices though?
Yeah.
How about the economy though? How about the fact we were a net exporter for the first time ever though? Okay. Like, what the fuck? And I'm not saying like it's all about money, because whatever, you know, it's not always about money, but like with money comes security, and you know, it just. Man, I'm telling you, in our lifetime, we're going to figure out what the hell happened with COVID. We're going to figure it out. Like, someone's going to be like, well, it kind of happened this way, and they were kind of cool about it. You know, like
we know there's some fucking fuckery there.
There's definitely fuckery. Yeah. And then with COVID comes restrictions. With restrictions comes people can't leave. With that, and they become too scared to leave, so they don't want to go out of the house. Then comes mail-in ballots, and then you have the most successful election in the history of the fucking country.
Weird how that works.
It's
weird.
It's a little suspect.
There should never ever be a mail-in ballot. Ever. Fuck you. Get off your ass. You can get there. Oh, you're handicapped? Guess what? We're sending a van. Get your ass down to the polling place.
Or check this out. Okay, so to open up my phone, I either need my unique password or I need the biometrics of my fucking face to do that.
Yep.
And some phones have a fucking thumbprint or whatever, a fingerprint.
Yeah, I think I can do that on my phone. Yeah.
So biometrics are a thing. Biometrics are uniquely married to either the contours of your face or your fingerprints, right? Which are unique to
the
like
individual.
99.9%, right? So why the fuck, instead of like the Pony fucking Express mailing in votes, why the fuck don't we have biometric voting?
That's it.
And then you tell me he got 81 million votes. I'll believe it. That's fine. That's cool.
Why don't these ballots have a barcode on? Why? And somebody brought this up on Twitter the other day. Like, why does it take them 48 hours to count these votes? Other countries, they're done in matter of hours. That night, polls close at 11. By 1 a.m., they have all of them counted because they're right there.
Well, that's what that blockchain.
Where do they go? What happens here?
That blockchain shit's pretty cool because you can take biometric data and marry it to a defined QR code or blockchain, and it'll never change. Like literally, we could get to a point where an app is created by the government, which is scary enough.
Yeah,
and they'd fuck it up. Because remember, like the Obamacare website that cost like $4 billion.
And it crashed.
I've built thousands of websites. Well, I haven't built them, but like people build them for me, and we've never sold a website for $1.4 billion. Zero websites. But you could literally have a situation where you log into an app, it uses biometric data to fucking do it. Now, who's to say that a person in a nursing home doesn't put the phone up to, Lady X's face, get the biometric scan going, and then go in and fucking vote for whoever? But the level of fuckery is going to drop exponentially because you're going to have those certain markers in place.
Yeah.
And you can marry it all. Like, I think the most important invention in probably our lifetime, we think, is the internet. But no, it's like that weird tooling and tracking part of what blockchain is going to do for like individualized scanning voting. And I really do think that we're going to be able to vote digitally soon. But then you open yourself up for fucking hacks and all this, and data breaches and all that kind of shit.
Well, that's what that's how they said how Trump won, because the Russians hacked the voting boxes and all that shit.
Yeah, and now they're saying that whole collusion shit, all that stuff that came out was done by Hillary Clinton's fucking team.
Yeah.
So she colluded with Russia and the government of the United States.
In case you guys are listening, I do not intend to kill myself.
Yeah.
I am mentally sound right now. I do not want to get Clinton.
Sooner or later I might, but not right now.
Yeah,
I'm good
right
now. Yeah. This shit's fucking crazy, dude. And again, like I think when you were pissing me, I was saying, like, I never cared about politics because I thought people were just good people. I thought
they're not.
Yeah.
I mean, I've known from day one politicians are the shadiest motherfuckers ever. Hands down, they are. Every one of them. I don't care who's running for president. You got skeletons. You're a shady motherfucker.
Yep. Eventually,
at some point, if we can ever lower the capped age for a president to 55 or 60, and I would say move the bar down to 30, so we can get some competent people in here. At some point, we might be able to shift things. We're never going to see it in our lifetimes. Our children probably never will. But down the road, I would like to see some sort of shift in this. Like I said, we are trusting people that would be in a nursing home shitting in their own fucking diaper to run a country right now.
Yeah.
This is where we're at. And we keep fucking electing them.
What's strange is you go, so you're
cycle.
49 though. Like, so you're saying in 6 years, you're going to be too incompetent to fucking do. No, I think it does depend on the person. Like, because Betty White, who died at 99, was more.
Should have made a great president.
Yeah, was more mentally with it than fucking Biden's been in probably 15 years.
A career politician should never be a phrase ever uttered again. Yeah. You should not. Cap these motherfuckers at 2 or 4 years, vote them out, get somebody else in there, get these fresh ideas, keep the fucking thing going. You, like I said, you shouldn't walk into a job making $140,000 a year and 3 years later have a net worth of $20 million. It should never fucking happen. Because if that happens, some fuckery is happening. Look into it and say, this isn't right. How did you get that money?
Well, you know what's fucked up too. So Nancy Pelosi she can't trade.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
But her husband can.
Yeah.
Now, if you got a job for the New York State Lottery, Krista wouldn't be allowed to play lottery, and any immediate family members wouldn't be allowed to play lottery either. That's for a game of chance based on how well you guess numbers. Not going, you should probably invest in fucking EVs because like that's the crazy shit that I just don't get. Like, if you work for the lottery, nobody in your immediate family can play the lottery. But if you are in charge of voting what rules and regulations and policies that the whole country is going to take in place, you can tell your husband to go vote or to go buy X.
Yeah. Hey,
and that's
this
fine.
One's going to shit. Sell everything we have and buy this. Oh, guess what? That's okay. That's okay, guys.
She's the most successful trader of all time.
Yeah.
And you could spell trader a number of different ways.
2 ways, and she fits both of them.
Yeah. So that's what I don't get. Like, if you're gonna be in public office, it should be so unbearably hampering that you're only willing to do it for 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, I can't trade. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't even go on. I can't even have social media or something. You know what I mean? Like,
but why are you doing this? Why are you getting into this job? Do you want to help things? Or are you there to make fucking money on the side? Which one are you doing?
That's the thing. They're not. Like, and I literally would see a mayor of my town, my small town, during a fucking parade, and I'm like, that's a guy that gives a shit about us. He cares. Maybe because it's a small town, maybe because I'm an idiot. Yeah. But
you see these young guys that actually give a fuck and are pushing for change. But there's so many people that are just wired old school. They're like, nothing's going to change. No, just open your eyes for a minute and just think, if you vote that fucking guy out, somebody else is going to come in there and actually that gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Because there's some people that actually give a fuck. That's why they're doing this.
Yeah.
They ain't doing it for the money. They're doing it to change for them, for their family, for their family's family down the line, to make things better for everybody. It's out there. They are out there. Yeah, you got to fucking watch out for the weasels, because there's a million fucking Pelosi's for one good guy out there.
One of the best lines I've ever heard, and I'll butcher it, but Ricky Gervais wrote a show called Afterlife. It's really good. It's not like The Office. It's not like extras. It's dark. But he befriends this older lady who also lost her spouse. He lost his spouse, and he's talking about, he thinks that killing himself is going to be a superpower because he doesn't give a fuck anymore. So he can just do whatever, say whatever, and he kind of like lives with zero regard for the bulk of the first season. But he starts to realize that, he wants to be a better person, not just because he, like, his dead wife would have wanted him to be a nice person, but like, he feels like when he does nice things, it makes him happy. Yeah. And she says something like, well, the mark of a good society is when old men plant trees by which the shade they'll never enjoy, or something like that. Like, you do today and put something in motion today for the benefit by which you'll never benefit from.
Yeah.
And that's what you think of what politics should be, and also
what it should be. 100% what it should be.
It's just not, and that sucks. Like, it seemed to me like when I was a kid, getting rich was, what everybody wanted, but you're a football player, baseball, hockey, professional athlete, you go like a movie star, you do this, you doctor, you go lawyer. There's like this weird hierarchy of like
money.
If you make it, right? This is what you're going to make. But honestly, it's probably easier to run for public office and then just be shady as fuck.
Yeah.
The barrier to entry for public office running, like there's probably more kids growing up that wanted to be a fucking football star than wanted to be fucking congressman, right?
Yeah.
So it's an easier club to get into.
I think that gentleman's club, that whole club, I think it's nearing the end though.
Yeah.
You look at it back in the day when we grew up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, your family was in politics. You had no choice.
Mm-hmm.
You were going into politics. You were groomed at a young age to wear a suit out in public, and you had these lunches in the Hamptons and all this shit. And that's where you were going. I think we're almost at the point now where we've run out of those people.
Yeah.
Those kids, those 13-year-old kids are now in office. Their kids actually don't give a fuck about this. They don't want any part of this anymore.
Even close is like Indian families and doctors. That's like literally, and like Jewish people and lawyers. Like that's it. Like the only thing I can think of where like you're indoctrinated into that thing.
Yep.
And then you see those outliers where like Kamal Nanja not gonna work here anymore. That the Indian actor dude, he's a comedian as well. His whole family is like doctors, and he's like, no, I want to be a comedian, and he made it, but he was. The exception, not the rule. The rule was you're going to be a fucking doctor, like that's the only thing I can think of where like, there's like an indoctrination of like what you're going to be with your life. And
that was part of the whole fucking premise of one of the Harold and Kumar movies. Like Kumar, his dad was a fucking doctor. You're going to take this doc, and he just fucking kept blowing things up. He's like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
At some point, I think we're getting to that stage where these politician families start kind of seeing what's going on. They're kind of like, you know what? I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a politician. I don't want to be a lawyer. I kind of want to go and, I might want to be a CPA or, I want to do this. And they're moving out of that. But at some point in the next 20 years, there has to be a massive overhaul of this politician bullshit. And it's got to come. It's got to come quick. And I know there's some younger guys out there around here. I see them pushing, and they're gaining ground. They're getting the votes. They're getting people behind them, but they're still fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah,
it is fighting. You're fighting against the man, and eventually, it's David and Goliath right now.
Yeah,
and it's tough, and I get it. And these guys are doing fucking amazing work. At some point, that fucking it's got to crack. It's
also muscle memory too. Like, let's say you voted for especially like Congress. Like you voted for this guy 4 times in a row, and now some new guy comes in. It's like, well, I'll just it's muscle memory. I'm going to vote for that guy still.
Yeah.
And there's a guy that I'm friends with out here that's running for Congress, and it's an uphill battle, and we all know it and stuff like that. But one of the really cool things that he said recently, in kind of like a retweet of his opponent, is, you've been serving here for X amount of years. Can you tell me, other than your trucking company, what business has come in here and actually thrived?
Yeah.
Like, other than your business, zero. Like, so, but you can't pussyfoot around the shit, man. You need to start punching people in the motherfucking face, because that's the only thing that people will fucking resonate with now. But it sucks. It's weird to see this. And I don't even know if it should even.
Dude, I would love to see an average Joe like you or I just say, I'm running for president.
Yeah.
Well, you need $500 million to campaign. What do you mean? I'm going to spend $300 on a fucking ticket to go to Des Moines, and I'm going to have a press conference. I'm going to say, yo, listen, you get me in there. I am going to do my best to make X happen.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm going to focus on these topics, and that's where I'm going to fucking 4 years. I'm pushing for this. I'm going to make things better in the best of my ability. I'm not going to say, well, okay, guess what? I'm going to lower taxes. Motherfucker, ain't one president lowered taxes ever.
Right.
You promise it every 4 years? Every 4 years.
Yeah. Well, what Biden was going to lower taxes and increase taxes for the wealthy. And even all the economists were like, hey, man, like Peter Schiff is a really good guy to pay attention to.
Yep.
He's like, hey, the rate by which they're spending money is going to probably amount to a 20% inflation rate. And everyone's like, fuck yourself, whatever. Yeah. And the other day,
boom, here we are.
He put something out where he said, they're saying it's an 8.5% inflation rate or whatever, but it feels like 18.5%.
Yeah,
it does. So again, is it a recession? No, it's not a recession. The definition of a recession is 2 consecutive quarters that are a net negative. Okay, we're there.
We're gonna change that though.
Yeah, no.
Now it's 3.
Yeah. It's just, it sucks, man.
And this is one I think I don't know if I text you this or I wanted to, whatever. I've been meaning, and I really wanted to look at this because somebody even said, you Google something, the first Google search, hey, are we in a recession? All that shit's geared to telling you fucking what you don't want to hear.
Yeah.
And what, the higher ups want you to hear. I want to go back and I want to find somebody with a dictionary that was printed prior to 2018. Go to the V's and look up vaccine and tell me what it says.
Yep.
Now I can Google vaccine and see what they say right away. I can guarantee you those are 2 completely different definitions.
Yep.
But that's just where we're at right now. These people just type in Google what they, here's my question. And the first fucking thing, click on, guess what? They got you. Go down 3 or 4 pages. Keep reading.
Yeah. So check this out. So are we in a recession, right? Now, that Fox News probably has some content.
Oh, yeah.
About are we in a recession? Okay. Fox News isn't on the first page of Google at all. Jesus Christ. So if you were to open up DuckDuckGo, for example, I think I still have it on my phone. Let me see.
Is DuckDuckGo like a new thing where they kind of like block all your shit? So
yeah.
Okay. I thought I heard an ad for them the other night at work.
And you can I'll show you. So and you can like erase your data too. So like if I do this, right, and I go like close tabs and clear data, it erases everything. Yeah. So if I type in, are we in a recession on DuckDuckGo? So
Samuel L. Jackson shows up and says, yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah. So I get CNET, I get Fox, I get Forbes. That's on the other one too. I get Yahoo. Yeah. I get like a ton more relevant things versus like what's on Google. It's pretty nuts.
It's insane how they literally railroad you into reading what they want you to.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, like, so many people are spoon-fed this information and they go with the first 3 or 4 fucking answers they get. Go to page 3 or 5 and see what's there. And then realize how much different everything is.
Yeah.
And I hate conspiracy theorists. I hate the flat earth people. Those motherfuckers, I just don't know how they're even allowed to breathe my air.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I mean, literally, we are getting images from astronauts taking a picture with their camera phone from the fucking space station, and the Earth is round.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so it's round here, but the other side you just fall off. And they're like, oh, well, if you go into this latitude and longitude, there's no curvature of the Earth. You stupid motherfuckers.
Yeah.
The planet's round-ish. It's not flat.
It's like
yeah. You sit there and you can fucking take a telescope in New Jersey and put it, 1,200 feet up in the air and look across the United States, and it's flat. And eventually, it starts to taper off.
Well, so this was something that happened in Egypt.
We're going in the fucking place I just don't. I'm angry in this episode.
We'll end up playing real quick. So, in Egypt, in 5,000 BC or some shit, they discovered the theory that the Earth is round simply because of, I think the pyramids were at a certain height and size, and the pyramids in Giza, and there was another pyramid somewhere else. And what they started to notice was that at the same time of the day, the shadows cast were different at the two different pyramid sites. And so you could only ascertain that there had to be a curvature of the land by which the pyramid was on that would show a different shadow. And that's like going back 7,500 years ago, let's just say.
Yeah.
For example. So, like, yeah, the Earth is if you look far enough away at the ocean, right? All of a sudden you'll see magically a ship just appear out of nowhere. If you're at the beach, you're looking at the Atlantic Ocean, you'll see all water, then a ship will just magically appear in the distance. It didn't come out of the fucking water. It's not a goddamn submarine. It was so far away that the curvature of the Earth was hiding it.
Yeah. Hey, these people. Yeah. Hey, we'll just drive across and then take a boat and tell me that the Earth isn't flat because you just keep going. What do you think? There's just a sharp drop off? Do you realize how big this fucking planet is?
Well, yeah. So when people start talking about that, the flat earthers go, well, no, there's walls of ice. Okay, where?
Yeah, just take us there.
Do I just like keep banging a left until I get to the wall of ice?
And I got one dude on my friends list. He's big into conspiracy, and that's all he does. He's a flat earther too. And again, I keep these idiots around just for fucking pure entertainment. That's all. I mean, I'm telling you, of the 600 some friends I have, there's like 150 you idiots I keep around just because you're a fucking shit show. End of story. Right. Fuck you. You're stupid. You really are. This dude literally, every time a fucking plane flies over at 35,000 feet and is leaving a vapor trail, yo, those are chemtrails. They're dropping shit on us. And I'm like, you literally work outside. If you're so afraid of these planes dropping chemicals, why in the fuck are you in construction?
Yeah.
Why are you outside?
Yeah.
Where's your hazmat suit, you dumb cunt? Chemtrails, man. No, they're not. It's called a fucking vapor trail. This plane is moving at 500 miles an hour. The exhaust is coming out at 1,000 fucking degrees. It is cold as fuck. 6 miles up in the air. We know that it's cold up there. Hot and cold create condensation. That's what it is. Well, how come some planes do it, some planes don't? Because guess what? That plane that's 6 miles up in the air, the other one that you see is at 4 miles. There is a huge difference in temperature. And guess what? You sitting on the fucking ground can't tell me that those two planes are 2,000 miles apart.
Right.
You just know they're way the fuck up there. Chemtrails, man. Fuck off.
There's the other thing too, like I also do think
angry episode.
Some conspiracy theorists are correct though. Like we saw that during COVID and shit too. But the other thing to think about is
those guys are 1,000 conspiracies.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
They're right once, and man, you'll never hear the end of it.
Yeah.
They are one for $9.99. Guess what? That one time you're never hearing.
You hit once, dude. Okay, you play the World Series of Poker. You play 99 tournaments. You win one. You still got $8 million, dude. Yeah. You know.
Fuck man.
Yeah, you're down 90 grand and you're up 8 million. You're crushing it. I think the other thing too is there's organizations inside of the government where they're trying to actually figure out how to change the weather, because if you can change the weather, you can actually you can get it to rain in California. You can get like
cloud seeding, right?
I do think that down the road they're going to figure out how to do that. I really do.
So I just read something the other day and I'm so fucking pissed. I got roped into this clickbait. It was one of the local channels here. And they're like, it was like a verify thing. And they were talking about how to deter hurricanes. Like we launch a fucking nuclear bomb into the middle of a hurricane and blow it up. Okay, great. That ain't happening for one. Number two is the bomb goes off in the middle of a hurricane, doesn't alter its course. But now you are throwing fucking nuclear fallout everywhere.
Right.
And they're like, people are like, if everybody in Florida would turn their fans on and aim it east towards the hurricane, we can generate enough wind to push the hurricane out. How dumb are you motherfuckers? Seriously, how dumb are you fucking people? The weather's the weather. We are not changing it. You know, the whole cloud seeding thing and whatever, it's plausible. You can help probably make it rain. You ain't stopping a fucking hurricane. You're just not ever stopping that sort of shit. You're just not.
One thing that they talked about was to stop with the global warming shit was to shoot like reflecting fractals up into the atmosphere to block the sun from heating up the earth. But you know, like sooner or later, that's going to backfire. And like someone's going to have to be, we shot too many up there, man. It's like
that was the other thing they were talking about, trying to fucking cool the Atlantic, like throwing ice cubes into the fucking ocean to try to cool it. And they're like, do you realize how dumb this? I'm just reading. I'm so mad I read this article. I'm so glad I read it, but I was so pissed. I got roped in trying to see how dumb these fucking people were. And it just confirmed my theory that people are fucking retarded.
This is and we can end on this, but this is something I read a long time ago that made me not scared of global warming, because you think it's like cyclical, right? So like the earth has been way hotter than it is right now, and it's been way colder than it is right now. And yes, do people contribute to it? 100%. But when the polar ice caps melt and the seas rise, that transatlantic current dies down. So, and that causes the jet stream to slow down, and that causes the earth to actually get colder. And then the ice caps come back, and then the current speeds back up, and then the jet stream works again. And it's like this whole thing. Now, for the first time in the world's history, people are probably contributing to that, and that's fine. It happens.
Because there's more people on the planet than there ever has been.
Sure. And there's a lot of people that think that we're going to be in a population decline, not just because of like what's going to happen with all the fucking wheat and fertilizer shit, but like, you know, more people are having less kids now.
Yeah.
You know,
so who wants to bring a kid into this world?
Yeah.
I wasn't happy when we got pregnant with Brady. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. I feel bad that my daughter's going to have to go through, and I want to bring another kid. It's going to be 8 years behind having to deal with this shit. Yeah. I don't want anybody to deal with this.
It sucks.
And I think a lot of people are thinking that way. They're like, man, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't do it.
I'm a firm believer of that stages of the earth. We had an ice age, you know, the warming stage, climate change or whatever. Yes. Think about it back in the 1900s. How many people were on this planet?
Yeah.
Compared to 100 years from now. Now. And you just think of it, just people. Like you said, you know, you could put 10 people in a room. The temperature in the room goes up.
Yeah.
Same thing goes with this planet. You add more people, that temperature is going to rise. You got more cars, more of this, more of that. Everything's going to, and I think Earth runs on a cycle. And guess what? We might go through this drought thing or everything's melting. And guess what? In 20 years, it might get cold as fuck.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Do you think, so I really wonder, and I'm sure someone has measured it, but when you look at photos of like, let's say London in like 1905, you can't see a building because of all the fucking pollution.
Yeah.
But if you look at London now, it's pristine and gorgeous and shit like that.
The whole thing with
we were kids in ET, like oh, it's really smoggy out, don't go out today. That doesn't happen anymore.
The whole thing with China.
Yeah.
Whatever, Hong Kong or whatever, Beijing, I think it was.
Yeah.
Dude, it was dark there all the time because of the pollution.
Yeah.
COVID hit, they stopped everything. Within 2 days, it was sunny as fuck.
Yeah. And there's fish in rivers that there hasn't been fishing.
Oh, yeah. All of a sudden shit starts happening. Like, don't tell me that we're not contributing. I get it. We are, but
yeah. But I really do wonder if the amount of pollution that was happening during the early days of the Industrial Revolution, even though there was less people, I bet you the pollution was exponentially higher than it is today because of all the regulations and shit like that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. At that point, they were just fuck all be all, just throwing it out there.
Oh, you got raw sewage.
Now it's like, yeah, we kind of got it. Yeah, now we kind of have, you know, sanctions, and you got to do. We're trying to do better, but
my uncle used to say
exponentially more people in, the whole carbon footprint and whatever.
Yeah.
I get it, but fuck, man. Something's got to give. At some point, something's got to give.
Michael used to say like those the spots between Bethlehem Steel and the Ford plant, or like before you get to Bethlehem Steel, those like little inlets of Lake Erie that used to be like shipping, like whatever.
Yeah.
Like he said that rats the size of fucking dogs would be able to walk on the water. That's how polluted that shit was.
Yeah.
And now it's like it's blue water now. You can see to the bottom of it now.
Not quite.
I'm not swimming in it, but yeah. All right, well, let's get out of here. I think you're the only one watching. Well, thanks. We had good. We went to 10. I think we went to 13, and then we went down to fucking 1. But
yeah, I couldn't see anything.
That's fine. We'll get out of here. Keep fucking the chicken. We'll do it again next week. What day is good for you? Friday, Saturday? I did something. Like, I don't know if like I fucking.
Sick flash, bro. I don't know.
All right, you let me know.
I think Friday's good.
Cool. All right. Figure it out. All right, man. Have a good night.
All right.